Nation. It is We Are Lions Nation podcast live on Friday night. It's our Friday night mashup show, and we got a good one for you guys tonight. We got a few topics that we're going to go over, and we are going to make our Who You Got picks for this week's games. Super excited. We got Smoking Jeremy B in the house, the stat man, of course, as usual. What's up, fellas? Going to be an awesome show. Can't wait to get it started. And that countdown begins
now.
All right. So let's go ahead without further ado and bring in tonight's first guest. He is the man formerly known as Mr. PC Payload. Let's bring him in.
What's up, Lions Nation? Thanks for having me on. Thank you, guys. Soul Man, Smoky Jeremy, Statman. Great to be on. Let's go, Lions. Let's go.
Hell yeah, go Lions. What pride.
All right, and next up from across the river from Detroit, we got Mark Oram of Orum's Forum.
Hey, guys, how's it going, man? Lions Nation, what's going on? Soul Man, Smoking Jeremy B, Stat Man, PC Payload. Let's talk some football. I love those guitar riffs, man.
Let's talk some football.
Let's do it.
And last but not least, we got the big guy from Woodward Sports. We got Easy in the house.
Easy.
What up, though?
All right.
Let's get it.
Super excited. Glad to have you guys on the show tonight. Thank you so much. It means a lot to have guys like you coming in and popping in. So we really appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Hey, and per usual, everybody watching, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. And if you are, click that little subscribe button on the bottom so you can get notified when all the new episodes come out. You can also check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, of course, Facebook, and TikTok as well. Statman's always putting up some awesome content on TikTok, so make sure you are checking that out. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump into the first topic here, guys. And here it is. Has Jared Goff underperformed or overperformed based on your initial expectations before this season started? We'll go ahead and start it out right to the right here and go with Smoking Jeremy B first. What do you think, buddy?
Well, I don't think he's done either. I think he's performed about average, which is what I've actually expected out of him. But at the same time, at times he's underwhelmed, and at times he's overwhelmed us because he's had very streaky play. Like he was 13 of 14 in the first half versus Green Bay. And then in the after an abysmal first half at 49ers, he had a great second half. So it's been up and down every game. We need to see consistency from the first quarter through the fourth quarter with Jared Goff.
All right, Statman, your thoughts?
I completely agree with you, Jeremy. And I think on my end, I kind of expected a little bit more just because of the fact that he has been to a Super Bowl, been on a winning team. I just thought he'd bring a little bit more leadership attributes to the Lions. And I feel like it's kind of a drop off from where we were with Stafford. I just can't depend on him in the fourth quarter to come back and win a game. So
I definitely agree. Real quick, Motor City Podcast hopping in. Say, hey, all. Tyler Black is in the building. What's up, Tyler? Thanks for popping in and joining us again. Love it that you keep popping in here and chit-chatting with us. So let's go to you, Easy. What do you think? Jared Goff, underperform, overperform?
I'm kind of going with what Jeremy said. I feel like he's really just – this is what I expected from him. He's not great. He's not bad. The only thing that really has been like biting my ass is like the turnovers. It's the silly ones, like the fumbled snap. Like that's one to like, really get annoyed at because, like, truthfully, I mean, he's had good moments, but then they had the turnovers along with it. So it's kind of what I expected. Maybe a little bit better than a little bit better than I was hoping for. But nonetheless, like he is what he is. He's not going to be phenomenal for us. He wasn't phenomenal in LA. He just was part of the system. He's good.
Yeah, Mark,
So
are
we
you? We got Dan Leonard popping in here saying, "Never betting on the Lions ever again."
Don't ever do that, bro. Don't ever do that.
Nobody did. I don't. You guys don't know the full story, but let's just say that he didn't win. So we'll keep it that way. Let's go to you, Mark. Give your thoughts on Jared Goff. Overperformed, underperformed so far?
Well, kind of the same thing everybody else is saying. This is kind of what Jared Goff is, and he's gonna come out and play good on one stretch, then he's gonna come out and play bad on another stretch, and he is what he is, man. Since like 2018, 2019, he's a guy that doesn't want to throw the ball downfield, and it was all reported through camp, through OTAs, mini camp that he had looks downfield, and he's checked down Charlie, and that's kind of just what he is, and we've kind of noticed that in the first couple of weeks of the NFL. He didn't really get going in that San Fran game until late in the third quarter, fourth quarter, when San Fran kind of took their foot off the gas. And then Green Bay, he had a lot of time in the pocket, and he wasn't really getting the ball downfield. Maybe he had like one nice ball downfield, but this is what he is. I think, like Statman said, he's a step down from Stafford. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's bad. I don't think, I'm on the fence with Goff, man. And this is just what he is. He's not going to win us any football games. And we just have to roll with this and see where he takes us. I don't think he's going to take us very far.
Yeah.
Well, Dan Leonard's popping in and saying, "Where's the stat man tonight?" Oh, he's right there, Dan. I don't even need to open your eyes because he's right in the screen, my friend.
He's right. That way.
PC, are you kind of on the same boat as everybody else, like right in the middle as far as Jared Goff goes?
Yeah. I think Mark said it best. I think he's kind of exactly what we expected him to be. But then again, what Easy said, the turnovers. Yeah, I saw it coming, and I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to happen. But all of a sudden the rain comes, and that tiny little hand, the ball kind of slips out. You could see it. If you look at that shot, Easy's laughing because he knows what I'm talking about.
It's real.
You saw
man.
the little tiny hand on that ball, and just a little rain. That's all it took. So par for the course, I guess. But step down from Stafford, like Statman said, yes, definitely a step down in the sense of leadership. But at the same time, what does he have to work with right now other than TJ? Let's be fair. Let's be real fair to him and say, look, he's on a 2-year contract. Next year, hopefully he gets a couple, whether it's in free agency or we do well in the draft, he gets somebody to throw the ball to, and then we'll see. But first year, you can see he's apprehensive. He does a lot of checkdowns. So I'm really hoping he can take the first half of one game and the second half of the other game, put them together, and give us a good game against Baltimore, because we're going to need every piece on the board to beat Baltimore.
Yeah,
we're going to need to run the ball.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that what you said there, I heard talks about putting the two halves together. It might have been from even something that Peyton Manning was quoted saying. So, put them two together. Hopefully we get one equal 4 quarters of football. I'm on the fence with Jared Goff as well. I was kind of hoping, like Statman, to see a little bit more. I don't understand the whole thing of why he's so afraid to throw the damn ball down the field. I don't understand that at all. I mean, you got some quick receivers. St. Brown's quick. Try to get him out there in a streak or something like that. Just open it up a little bit, and who knows what could happen. But, if you get somebody that just doesn't want to do that, then,
that's just it. How are you ever going to know, right? How are you ever going to know if even they're not name brand players that we have, but how are you ever going to know if the players that we do have are any good if he doesn't bother to throw to them? If he's always going to check down to TJ, how are we ever going to know? I mean, look at the dime that he put in the back corner of the end zone to TJ in Green Bay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was an impossible pass, right? That was a beautiful pass. He's capable of it. But does he have the self-confidence to actually do it is the question.
He doesn't have a clear instinct.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like happened with that fumble. As soon as he fumbled that ball on the first drive in the second half, he was in his own head the rest of that game. I don't know if you guys seen it. He was missing throws. He checked out of 18 runs into passes. You know what I mean? At the line of scrimmage. I just think he just lost his head a little bit once he dropped that ball. And he was behind. Now he's going to be behind 2 scores. And then he's just trying to play catch up. And doesn't have the talent to come back in the fourth quarter like that. I don't think.
Do you think it's talent or self-confidence? I lean
It's
towards
a little bit of
self-confidence.
both. I mean, I've seen talented softer throws, and I've seen his talent as far as on the field running the ball. I mean, he was our leading rusher against Green Bay. He's got
that's kinda
feet.
sad.
That's bad. That's really
It's
sad.
true.
But I just think that he doesn't have the ability to stay within his own head at the end of a game to win games. I just don't think he has it.
Yeah.
I think some of it may even be for the better. Like I think he's like self-aware that he can't make certain throws, and maybe it's like just for the like maybe you shouldn't go deep because like it just ends up getting picked off more often than it should be. You know, like and a little bit just of confidence overall. But I agree. Like I don't know what came first. Was it the fourth down or the fumble? But yeah, his confidence or just the offense's confidence got took at that point. It was like
the fourth down came first.
Here we go again.
Yeah, it just seems like whenever a mishap kind of happens with him, he kind of, like Statman said, he gets into his own head. He gets into his own head and he kind of breaks down mentally. And it looks like he kind of rushes himself and he's trying to, he's trying to be a little bit too perfect, I think, at times. And he makes mistakes and that's what he's done. And that's kind of been his MO when he was in LA the last few years. So I don't know.
The worrisome part about that, Mark, is that
he
has had, what was the statistic on it? Like, he had the most time of how many quarterbacks in the league? It was top 10. He had so much time to throw the ball. And that's the worrisome part. Is that
it was like 3 seconds.
28. I think it was. There was 28 quarterbacks that had less time than him in the pocket.
Okay, so then that's either if that's the case, which is good for our O-line. Is it our weapons that aren't getting open then? That's the thing, right? Like,
I would say no.
Combination.
Is it just TJ and Swift getting open? Like, what's going on with Khalif? What's going on with? I know he just lost his wide receiver one and Tyrell.
I do know for a fact on that 4th and 1 play, if he'd have looked to his left, he had Swift for a bubble screen. He had TJ Hawkinson on the left, and he had Amon-Ra in the slot that was wide open with a lane to the end zone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure. He had guys open, and he
threw it to Cephas.
Because he's locked on Cephas right now. Because I think that's the only guy he really trusts in his wide.
He was specifically asked about that at a press conference a couple of days ago. They specifically asked him, what was the deal? You know, why did you just throw to Cephas? And he kind of avoided he didn't want to answer that. He was just kind of like, well, that was what we chose to do. He didn't really say anything else.
Well,
which tells me that he didn't see it. He saw it in film and he probably felt bad that he didn't see him. Right. But that's, he's not Stafford. You know,
Stafford could have made that throw.
He's not Stafford.
You can't
Stafford would have seen everything.
You can't see him if you don't look at him. He didn't even look over in that direction at all. So I mean, he's not even trying at that point to even find an open receiver. You know, St. Brown probably would have scored a touchdown on that play with his speed. There's nobody around him for 20 yards. So yeah, there was another comment. The flash of brilliance, there's some good I won't say brilliance, but there's some good stuff that Jared Goff that I see during the games. The first game, week 1, he had that hell of a comeback. So I know he's capable of making that happen. I feel like he can make it happen if he really wants to. But then you go to Statman's point of maybe he just doesn't have the confidence, or maybe there's something in him that doesn't allow him to throw. Or, you know, maybe he starts shutting down. I mean, who knows? Hopefully things will change for Jared Goff soon, and we can see a little bit better play out of him. I want to jump down to the comments. We have Dar Erickson coming in saying he is a system quarterback without the system. What do you guys think?
That's a good point. I mean,
that's actually a good point.
Yeah, it is a really good point. I mean, look at what he did with the Rams. He played well with them, but it was in that system. So now he's not in that. So maybe that's what's affecting him.
Yeah, and then you go from being a first-round pick to being rejected within 3 years. So you look at it that way, and it's like, what does that do to your self-confidence?
Well, hey, real quick, thanks to Speak Easy Sports, we now have, 57 subscribers now. So thank you.
Appreciate that.
They like it easy.
No problem, man. I was watching the Peyton Manning broadcast, and they had said, so, he had that high schoolers and the middle schoolers that have the wrist wrap to call the plays. He's like, that's a
right.
He's not familiar with the offense yet. And because professional quarterbacks, like you don't do that at that level in the NFL, unless you're new to the offense, you're learning, you're putting in something new for a specific game, and that's what they were saying on the broadcast. And like, who knew better than Peyton Manning to point that out? Like, and yeah, Dar had it right in the point. He's a system quarterback of the system. He's not familiar with the system yet. He's not familiar with the receivers yet. Maybe he does get better. Who knows? But the turnovers, that's like, I don't know. I can't really blame that too much in the system.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still going back to they should have at least played the starters for a couple of series every preseason game, because once he got into game speed week 1, all of a sudden he looked like a totally different quarterback. If he'd have played at least a game worth of snaps in those first 3 preseason games, I think we might have seen a different Jared Goff starting out.
Maybe, yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what is the system. Like, that is a great comment by Dar Erickson. He's a system. What Easy said too. Yeah, he doesn't really. There is no system. Like, what is the system? Peyton Manning, noticing that, and they're supposed to be a running football team, but other than that, what are they? You know what I mean? We're a team that is going to rely heavily on T.J. Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift. That's really, like, that's a system. I don't know if I can't even call that a system. Like, I don't even know. Like, I think we're in a little bit of trouble with this system.
I'll say it again. Thank God we got a good O-line.
Yeah, we're a team of unprovens on both sides of the ball. Yeah. So until they are proven, we don't know. It's an unknown thing, and we still don't know going into week 3 because we haven't seen hardly anything from most of the guys that I want to see some stuff from. Speaking of one of those guys, that brings us to the next topic here. Is Derek Barnes the answer for the Lions' linebacker coverage issues? Let's start down with you, PC. What do you think, my man?
For coverage issues, that's like the little thing on the end of there. So Derek Barnes being a difference maker as far as from what I've seen is decisiveness. And he seems to have a good instinct for the ball. Seems to gravitate towards the ball. But as far as coverage goes, I mean, he's got the speed laterally. Does he have it the other way? So I don't know about that's a weird question. If you took it into 2 parts and said, is Derek Barnes the answer to / at least increasing the probability of it maybe a tackle before 10 yards? Yes. Is he the answer for a coverage? That's yet to be seen. I haven't seen enough of him yet to know if he's going to be good enough to carry the slot at all. So that would be my 2-part.
A lot of people are saying that Derek Barnes is the guy. He's going to bring excellent coverage, which is lacking in the linebacker core right now for the Lions big time. I mean, you got Collins and what's his face, the blonde-haired guy, probably Alonzo or whatever. I always forget his name.
I like the nickname that was given on the Motor City Kneecap Fighters page. Somebody called him Analese.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Those guys were having.
Oh, man, bro.
I'm just saying. He's been bad.
Those guys had running backs running right past them like they weren't even there. And I guess basically, can Barnes do? I know he can tackle. I know he can get in the backfield because I've seen it. And I've been waiting for Derek Barnes to get into the game forever. And I don't know why he hasn't been, but can he be that guy to help with the coverage? I guess is the main issue. So PC, that's I guess where we're going with the question. Just seeing if he can actually help. But yes, seeing as you haven't seen enough of him, I get that. Mark, let's hop over to you, my man. What do you think?
I did a lot of film work on that kid. Obviously, when we drafted him, and when he was at Purdue, that kid played on the line a lot. Like, he was a D-end edge rusher. That's what he was. Mm-hmm. And then in college at Purdue, he played some linebacker, obviously, too, but he was a very underdeveloped linebacker coming into the NFL. I think that's why they have their kid gloves on that guy. He's got the speed, he's got the youth, he's a big kid, 6'1", 240 pounds, but they didn't ask him to do a lot of covering at Purdue. It's not that he couldn't do it, it's just that he wasn't asked to do it much. He was more of a guy to get to the quarterback. He shot the gaps, played the run really well, stuffed the run, and he got to the quarterback. That was really his only job at Purdue. He wasn't asked to do a lot of covering. So to the question, is he our linebacker cover issues? I don't know. I don't really know if he is. I know he had some nice cover plays in preseason, but he was going up against guys that were third, fourth, fifth string. Okay. Now he's going up against ones and twos right now. So I don't know if we really want to put him in that fire of him covering guys. I still think that's Anzalone's job. Rest in peace.
Oh, God
Alex
forbid.
Anzalone. But I just think I don't really know if I really want to throw Derek Barnes in there, just start covering every running back and every tight end coming out in the flats or over the middle. It's just we need to ease our expectations on Derek Barnes. I like the kid a lot, but I tell you right now, I don't know if he's our answer for coverage linebacker. So, but I do like him a lot though.
Yeah, and there is a point to this question, which I'll get to once everybody's done. Easy, what do you think, my man?
Yeah, I mean, I subscribe to everyone's saying, like, as far as the coverage goes. I think Derek Barnes would be a great, filling in the gaps, stopping the run type of linebacker. I'm very curious to see how he is in the coverage game. To be honest, like I don't expect a linebacker to fix our coverage in general. That's more, like our safeties and cornerbacks. You want that's to be corrected with. But as far as like Derek Barnes himself, I'm excited to see him on the field. I spoke with a former NFL scout, Scott, a while back as soon as we had the draft. He told me that Derek Barnes is like Micah Parsons, just packaged in like a smaller frame and obviously a little bit slower athletically, But I think the kicking. I think there's something to be said too about this front office and their like the wherewithal, I guess, for him to like, okay, there's Jamie Collins not producing, not setting an example for us. Well, he's got to go, like, in a respectful manner too. You know what I'm saying, like, I don't know. Yeah. I respect that. Like, it felt like forever we were bitching about Tavai as Lions fans, and then he get cut until this new regime came. We're bitching about Collins in game 1 or game 2, and they're like, he gone. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta get ready.
Welcome to being a Lions fan.
Yeah.
That's it.
This fan base has zero patience for anything.
Yeah, and it sounds like that Dan Campbell and the rest of the front office is listening almost to what the fans are saying. They're actually going with what the fans are trying to do, and they're hearing us and they're seeing what's going on. Obviously, they probably already seen what's going on, so they're making hopefully the necessary changes. Statman, your thoughts on Derek Barnes?
I think he brings speed to our linebacker group because Collins, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, he was jogging half the time, or he'd give up on a play before he even hit the sideline, and that doesn't fly with Campbell. So I think he's going to bring a different aspect to the position, but I don't know if he's exactly the answer to the coverage issues as far as covering tight ends or running backs for our linebacker group. Like Mark said, he didn't do a whole lot of pass coverage in college. He was just used as a pass rusher. So who knows, maybe he'll put on some heat to these quarterbacks, help with the linebackers on the blitzes or on the run blitzes and help us stop that. But as far as pass coverage, I just not enough has been seen of him, I should say.
Yeah. Oh, Smoking Jerry B?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, he's been a sideline defender when he did play linebacker at Purdue. He wasn't so much used in coverage as he was as a run stuffer and also as a blitzer. I like the idea that they might use him as a spy for Lamar Jackson and then use the stunts like the Raiders did to contain Lamar Jackson, not rushing the D-line in and using him to cover the outside when he tries to turn it.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes some sense.
So basically, some of these questions, some of them that I get, I go and I judge off of what everyone is saying on social media platforms. And a lot of the talk is that Derek Barnes is just the catch-all answer for everything. And that's where this question derives from, because the main issue that I think is the coverage is for the linebackers, especially. And Derek Barnes is not going to come in and be able to cover everyone. And like you guys have already stated, he isn't even proven in coverage. So when I watched him, he was in the backfield making plays. That's where he is going to be. But Statman makes an awesome point of having him doing that could help the linebackers that are in there now. Hopefully the Lions and Campbell can find an answer for the coverage. I'm worried about the secondary, but not super worried because I think there's still some time for those guys to adjust back there, being so new or fresh. But obviously, the injuries are going to hurt us in that area as well. But yeah, as far as the Derek Barnes goes, that was just basically a social media question there. We gotta come in here because we gotta hop in here and check out what's going on over in the comments section here. Dan Leonard popping in saying, let's be honest, guys. Goff was brought in to be the long-term starter. He is a stopgap. The draft picks are the QB position of the future.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I think he's a 2-year. I think he's a 2-year guy here, and you can go get your quarterback sooner or later, whatever, within the year or two. You have to draft the next year or the year after if you want to wait. Yeah, I don't think he's not. I don't think he's part of the build. Honestly, I think 2 years, and then you might be able to even trade him away. I'm not saying we need to get rid of Jared Goff because he's trash. I'm just saying the way it seems like Brad Holmes is building this, it seems like 2 years here, and then maybe he'll only be 28 at the time. Maybe 29, and then you could possibly trade him. You know, you get more capital because I don't think he's the answer for the Detroit Lions. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, if the NFL had farm teams like every other league, if the NFL had farm teams like every other league does, Jared Goff will be that guy that jumps back and forth to help out the young guys until they can make it to the next level. That's kind of how I look at him. He's not a bad quarterback. He's nothing special. He's a system guy, where he works very, very well with inside structure. And so as far as his talent level goes, we've seen flashes of it, but is it maintainable? Is it sustainable? Is it something that he can mentally handle with inside himself? So that's just what I haven't seen out of him. Granted, he's a young guy. He's not an old guy. And I think we have to constantly remember that. He's had a lot of success as far as making it to the Super Bowl and stuff with LA, but he's still a very, very young guy, at least compared to me. So, I just try to think of my psychological state when I was 26, outside of being some celebrity athlete, and how difficult that is to deal with, and what these guys go through, and rejection and things like that at that age. So, there's so much that goes into it that we don't understand, that we don't see outside the locker room. And I think that all kind of goes into account as far as where he's going to be in 2 years.
Yeah, perfectly said.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Quinn Cook, what's up, my man? Thanks for popping in. Says, hey, guys. And then he says, we are playing Mabin at linebacker this week, and we got Hand and Cornell back as well.
I don't think so. I don't think Cornell's back. Cornell's not back. He's still on a 3-game suspension, right?
Right.
Yeah,
He's suspended this game. He comes back next week.
And I thought Hand was still on IR, but maybe not. I don't know. Not sure.
He was on the 3-week IR.
Look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll check that out for the pregame show coming up Sunday morning. So make sure 10 a.m. our new time for our new pregame show. Super excited about that. We'll have the final injury report for everybody at that time. Derek Erickson says, I think Barnes is better than what was on the field on Monday. Yeah.
More than likely.
I agree with that one. Barnes reminds me of a taller version of Stephen Tulloch.
That's not a bad comparison. That's not bad.
No.
That's
Yeah.
not bad. I like it.
Easy commenting saying he agrees with Dan.
Nice.
Goff will have a Fitzmagic type career, journeyman. So, which was pretty much just said. And then Quinn pops in and says he's back.
Okay.
So must be referring to one of the fellas that he was talking to just a minute ago. All right, now
Great, as long as he can provide.
Talking about the defense, Richard Sherman actually on social media today, just basically pleading his case, about everything that happened with him. Wants the attention of some NFL teams. Should the Lions sign a cornerback like Richard Sherman, or even consider Richard Sherman as an option to help out in that cornerback position? We're going to start with you, Smoking Jeremy B.
If he's willing to swallow his pride and eat his words about never coming to Detroit, maybe. But for the most part, I think I'm out, because he can't do man coverage anymore. He's lost his speed. He's more of a zone coverage guy, but he would be great vet leadership for the young corners that we have.
Statman, what do you think? Richard Sherman, Richard Sherman or in general, should the Lions go after a veteran cornerback? Richard Sherman, just an example of one guy. There may be others out there the Lions could go for. So basically the question is, Richard Sherman or any veteran cornerback, do you feel like the Lions need to go out and grab somebody at this time?
I don't think so. I mean, you're in a rebuilding year. You might as well give the young guys some shots because look at Melifonwu. He played excellent against Devontae Adams against Green Bay and shut him down basically up until he got hurt. And then you seen Devontae Adams catching the ball left and right.
Yep.
I just think you should give these young guys like AJ Parker a chance, and I think they could be great if you just give them the playing time. Might as well. What do you have to lose?
All right. Well, I mean, where we're at now. Easy, your thoughts?
I'm a little bit biased in this one. Believe it or not, Richard Sherman's like one of my favorite players. I just like that he was never like truly. I mean, obviously he's athletically gifted, like he's tall and he's played with a professional athlete and he plays in the NFL. But like he was never like the fastest guy out there. He's more of like a cerebral-minded player. And I guess I'd like to have that type of veteranship in our locker room, I guess, for these young guys. Because he is like a cerebral guy. He's played against a lot of these dudes in the league right now. And I guess just for learning sakes, like remember when Rasheem Mathis was here and you took Darius Slay underneath his wing? I'm just hoping to get that out of him. Now, I don't know that Richard Sherman is similar to Rasheem Mathis in that way, but that's just like what I hope it would at least lead to, at this point in his career.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see just as like a veteran leadership role, but I just don't know if he can still keep up with the young gun receivers.
Mark, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I understand the vet leadership part of it, but I'm going to have to say no on Richard Sherman. I just think the young guys should have a crack at this right now. AJ Parker is undrafted free agent. That's kind of just really aggressive kid. I think deserves a shot out there, and I think this new regime, man, they're just going the youth movement, and I think they're going to they're throwing these guys into the fire. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in somebody though, maybe to come in as a vet, but I don't know if it's going to be Sherman because A, I don't think he'd want to come here, and B, I think he'd want to go to a contender. He probably still thinks he's one of the top corners, even though I think he's fallen off a lot. But he's not going to come to Detroit. I don't think Brad Holmes is even going to even pick up the phone to call him. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he's even going to try to even get in touch with him. So I don't think he wants to pay any type of money to bring those type of guys in. They have some vet leaders on that team. Maybe not in the secondary right now, but they got some leaders over there that these guys can be mentored by. But I'm gonna have to say no to Richard Sherman right now.
All right, PC. Before I get to you, we got to catch up here. Alex Souls hopping in said, "Good show, keep it up, guys. One pride, Alex. Thank you so much for hopping in."
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Quick Cook says, "I saw in a Lions group that both are back." Well, that is social media, but I'm not going to go off anything until I get an official report. Yeah. Quinn Cook, Sewell has not gave up a sack since 2018 in college. I did see that stat floating around the other day. We got Facebook user coming in saying, put Sherman at safety.
I don't know about that either. No.
Dan Leonard popping back in saying, moving Sherman to safety would be the move. Is that the same person, Facebook user and Dan Leonard? Are they the same? I think if you bring Richard Sherman in, you're bringing him in for mentorship, pretty much. If anything, B. Farrell, Richard wouldn't want to come here. He would want to go to a championship contender. Exactly. Good point there, Art. And then we got Devin Stacy, Captain Insano, shows no mercy from the Water Boy. And then last but not least, Dar Erickson popping in. I would just love to have a damn run game already. I'd like to see 1,000-yard rusher in our backfield. We have the O-line talent.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, when you go against Green Bay, we were planning on going in there, controlling the time of possession, running the ball, keeping Rodgers off the field, and then DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams both get a combined 17 carries.
Yeah,
It's sickening.
Well,
You
let's
got that
hop
much
back over
talent.
to you, PC. I want to hear what your thoughts are on the Richard Sherman question.
Yeah, I think the question was a player like Richard Sherman. I'm not sure what the pool is like at his age and his experience level. Other than him, he probably is near top of the list. He would have to want to come here, number one, or anyone in that category would have to want to come here and not just collect the paycheck. That would be my biggest concern. It would be, yeah, I'm going to go out there and play a few games and then, fake an injury and collect my paycheck. And I'm not saying Richard Sherman would do that, but that would be my biggest concern. And then you've got a lot of young players that could really use some first team reps. So I would just stay away from that personally. I wouldn't even entertain the idea.
Yeah, and I'll just cap it off. I agree with pretty much everything that was said. I think if they bring someone like Richard Sherman or Richard Sherman over, if they did do that, it would be none other than just for, hey, I'm a veteran. This is some tips and tricks, something like that. But I think the young talent we have has some stuff yet to prove, which I've been saying for a while now. Devin Stacy popping back in is saying, Alex and I have a buddy that says golf is the poor man's Stafford without the arm.
Wow.
That's a little harsh.
Yikes.
Yeah, that one is harsh. Yeah. Last one, guys. And before we get to it, once again, I just want to thank everybody for coming in and watching the show tonight. We've had a good, consistent live flow coming in, so I appreciate that. And remember, if you are watching and you are not yet subscribed, please do so by just clicking that one little button that says subscribe in the bottom right hand of your screen. Click that like button and notification bell so you can get all the up-to-date episodes and new news. Hey, join our Facebook page as well. We have lots of updates that we post on there. We do our fan polls and all kinds of good stuff like that. So make sure that you are checking out the We Are Lions Nation Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram as well, and especially TikTok if you want to see some awesome videos from the Statman as he produces some funny content on there.
Yes,
and our last
please check
question,
it out.
the last question of the night, guys, is will Williams' concussion being as bad as it is, do we go after another wide receiver or stand pat at what we have? Let's start down with you, PC, on this one.
Concussions are tough. With big contact sports like football and hockey and things, concussions are tough. One concussion can take you out for your entire life. 3 concussions, just see guys in there till they're 45. So it's a really tough one. I don't think we pull the trigger yet. I think we pump the brakes a little bit. Give him a couple weeks to come back, see if he's to where he's at. Because what a concussion really does is, hamper your decision making when it comes to, high stress environments. I've had a concussion, so I can speak to that. And so we'll have to see if he comes back to where he was at training camp and how much they loved him. And so maybe, if we get 3/4 away into the season and he's still not firing on all cylinders, we probably do need to start looking at it. But first year of a rebuild, man, it's tough to make those decisions. So let's just, pump the brakes, see where he's at halfway through the season, and then kind of go from there.
Mark, your thoughts?
Yeah, just what PC said. I don't know. You have to you have to bring him back in, see if he's firing on all cylinders. We don't really know, the severity of it. Seems pretty bad because he's going to miss some extra time, I believe, right? So he just got put on IR. So it's not good. Josh Gordon's out there. We've talked about it before, just before the show, and it's a guy that you can bring in and just have a sit down with him and maybe have a workout, see where his head's at, see where he is physically. You don't have to pay this man a lot. You can literally throw a bag of nickels at him and he'd have to accept it. So it's not a money issue with him. So it shouldn't be anyways. He shouldn't be demanding anything. If they want to maybe make this a little bit, if they want to make this a little bit fun, sign a Josh Gordon. Why not, man? Just bring him in first though, see where he's at. But I don't really know if there's anybody really out there besides him. There's probably a few guys floating around out there in the waiver wire, but I'm not saying go make a move, or they already did that with Trinity Benson so far. It's been nothing really happened right there with Trinity yet. But I don't think Brad Holmes is going to be wasting any more draft capital. But I'm saying give Josh Gordon a ring, man, and just bring him in, man, and see what's up.
All right. And Easy, what are your thoughts?
I'm bringing in a receiver, free agent receiver.
Yeah, with Williams' concussion being a little, it's not a good one. So, do you think that the Lions need to go after another receiver, or just stick what we have?
Man, I'm trying to maybe. I may say like the veteran leadership thing again. Maybe again like a guy like Tate for Amon-Ra, but I think receivers can just get it. I don't think there's too much veteran leadership that comes with that. How many times year after year we see these rookie receivers come in and they fucking tear the league apart. So at the receiver position, no, I think maybe we should stay put and get these guys their reps.
I agree with that 100%. Statman, what are your thoughts?
I say no. Pump your brakes and just let him heal up. When he comes back, hopefully he contributes to the team. But I don't think you go out and get another receiver right now. We got enough depth with these young guys.
And Smoking Jeremy B?
I agree with Facebook user down here. I say bring in Josh Gordon on a cheap deal, give him a bunch of incentives to have him play a full season. You could probably get him for peanuts for 3 years right now. He's still young enough. He probably at 80% is better than everybody on the roster. So, being a former all-pro receiver. He never had a problem in the locker room. His only problem was his substance abuse. And this new recovery group he was with did mental work and everything else to help him kick his habit. So maybe now he's in that right frame of mind. And if they do bring him in, I say they bring him in the way somebody suggested last week. You give him a helmet with a dark visor, bring him out on the practice squad and see how he does. And if he does even 80% of what he used to do, you sign him to one of those cheap deals.
All right. Yeah, I think I like the idea of bringing in Gordon. Easy to jump on your comment. The answer to that question is you're fine. And, yeah, talking about Josh Gordon, bringing him in, I think would be sweet. I think they could do that. But also we have a lot of unproven receivers on the roster already that haven't really gotten a chance yet. So I wouldn't mind if we stayed where we're at. But I wouldn't mind seeing someone or especially Josh Gordon, I think would be a cool addition to the receiver core. We Facebook user coming in saying, did Green Bay release Jace Sternberger?
I don't know.
I have not heard anything. I have not heard anything.
He can't catch. He's a tight end. Yeah, he's terrible.
He's just a blocking tight end.
He's terrible. Yeah.
And this is an inside joke. Dan Leonard says, I hear Galladay may be available. Dan Leonard is a Giants fan, for those of you that don't know.
So am I. I like him too.
Oh.
So he's and we know that Dan is not too happy about having Galladay and wants us to take it back. So no, Dan, we're not. You're going to keep him. That's what you guys wanted. So, guys, it is now time for our picks. We're going to go ahead and do our game picks real quick and see who you guys got. So, the first one is the Sunday night Packers versus 49ers. Big matchup for Green Bay and the 49ers. Start with you, PC. Who you got?
I got 49ers.
All right, Mark?
Yeah, I'll take the 49ers. I think that pass rush will be really good. That O-line in Green Bay is not very stout, so I think the San Fran will come at them, and it'll be a good game, though, but I'll take the Niners.
All right, easy. Who you got?
I think I might go Packers in this one, just because all of the injuries the Niners got hit with last week at the running back position and elsewhere. Jimmy G's going to be forced to throw the ball a lot more than I think he's similar to Goff in that area.
And Statman, we'll go to you.
Going Niners. Niners are going to win it.
All right, Smoking Jeremy B.
I got the Niners.
Sorry, guys, I just muted my mic because we're live, and I had to yell at my son to go get my phone charger because my phone's at 3%. I thought it would make it, but it's not fucking making it. So we are like emergency mode right now. Hey, plug this in. Plug it in.
3%, buddy.
Green, go.
Get in there.
Now my son.
Save him
My
from
son-
himself.
We're live, guys. We're live, guys.
Woo, he made it.
Come here. Come here.
Saved by the bell, buddy.
Come here.
Saved by
Come
the
down.
bell.
Come down. Dude,
Good job,
we're
bro.
all over the place. We got it. Son saved the day. Here he is. My oldest
job,
son
kid.
saving the day.
Good job, dude.
Saving the
Good job,
day.
Soul Man's son.
Heck yeah.
That's what we do here. That's how we roll. That's why this is live. Shit happens. I thought we could make it the whole time, but my phone just went dark, so I was getting a little scared. But we're all good now. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to take the Packers in this one. Just even based on our game with the Packers, there's obviously some stuff that the Packers got to work on. So, yeah, I'm taking the 49ers on this one. We got the Monday night football game coming up. We have the Eagles taking on the Cowboys. Let's start out with Mark.
This should be a pretty good game. Even though the Eagles, they're not supposed to be really good this year. They, Hurts is a pretty good quarterback. I like the Cowboys offense in Dallas Monday night. I'll take the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, and Statman.
I've become a little bit of a Jalen Hurts fan, and I do have him on my fantasy team, but
Yes.
I'm going to take the Eagles in this one.
All right, what about you, Easy? Who you got?
I despise them, but I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. A bit more
I feel you,
experience.
buddy. Feel you.
They're at home.
And somehow during this whole thing with my phone charger, we got Mark and Jeremy B switch spots. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So,
Yeah.
Smoking Jeremy B, who you got, my man?
I took the Cowboys. I just think that offense is going to light up that Eagles' poor defense.
All right, and PC, who you got?
Yeah, it's a good thing I do not bet because I will never bet for the Cowboys. I can't stand them. I can't do it. I feel like they're going to win, but I can't do it. So I'm just going to say Eagles.
There we go.
I lived in Texas for years, man, and those Cowgirls fans are terrible.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much for the same reason. I picked the Eagles as well, but I also like Jalen Hurts a lot too. I think that guy's got some definite talent there.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be really close game.
Yeah.
We got Chargers taking on the Chiefs. Personally, I'll start this one out. Personally, I am back and forth on this one because in my fantasy league, I have Justin Herbert and Tyreek Hill. So obviously, I want both of them to do very well. But I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs on this one. I think Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, all those guys, they're just a really good football team. So I'm going with Kansas City. Mark, who you got?
Yeah, these guys had a banger, I think, last year. I don't know if it was both meetings. It was really good, but I know one of those meetings, it was a really good match. I think the Chiefs are just too strong. Patrick Mahomes, Kelce, man, who could stop those guys along with Tyreek Hill? I'll take the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. All right, Statman, who you got?
I'm going Chiefs, Mahomes. I just think after that really close loss to the Ravens on Monday night, I think they're going to come out and they're going to win. So we'll see.
There we go. I've been trying. Once again, we are live, and I've been trying to get this comment to come up for the past 10 minutes, and it finally decided to make its appearance. So, good old technology doing its thing here right now. PC, who you got, my man?
I never bet against Andy Reid, so I'm going Chiefs.
Smoking Jerry B?
Chiefs.
He's going for a walk. Looks like he's going for a walk right now.
Yes, I did.
We got, coming up next, we have the Cardinals taking on the Jaguars. This is my upset pick of the week. I'm going to take the Jaguars in this one as my upset pick.
Crazy though.
Mhm.
I would not take that bet.
That's why hey, we got to pick one upset game. This is the obvious upset win. If the Jags beat the Cardinals, it's the biggest upset of the week probably. So that's why I'm going with the Jags. Realistically, I would pick the Cardinals, but because I have to pick an upset game, I'm going with Jags. Mark, who you got?
Man, sorry to burst your bubble there, brother. I hope you're not putting money on that. I'm going to take the Cardinals, man. They're going to roll all over Jacksonville and Urban Meyer.
All right, Statman, who you got?
Yeah, this is an easy
No
pick.
money
Kyler
there.
Murray, the Cardinals. I'm taking them all day.
Easy, who you got, my man?
Andy put the
We got Dan Leonard saying, Andy, put the pipe down.
That's beyond the hopium pipe, brother.
some of that good.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
guard.
hey, we'll see what happens next week when I'm the only one that has that win. We'll see.
Yeah.
I doubt it, man.
It's going to happen.
Keep dreaming.
It's going to happen.
Keep dreaming.
We got Smoking Jeremy B. Who you got, my man?
Cardinals.
And PC.
Trevor Lawrence is learning what it's like to lose for the first time in his life. So I got to go Cardinals, man.
My caveat to this is that if they lose in week 3, Urban Myers quits. For some health reason, a week later, he resigns with USC.
Ah. Imagine. Oh, man.
We got the Bears taking on the Browns. Who you got, Mark?
I think this is going to be a pretty good game. No, that's going to be a pretty good defense that the kid, Justin Fields, gets his first quarterback start, his first NFL start against the Cleveland Browns. That's a tough matchup for him. I like the Cleveland Browns. I think they're going to beat the Chicago Bears.
All right, I went with Cleveland as well. Statman, who you got?
I got Cleveland as well. Screw the
And
Bears.
let's go down to you. PC, who you got?
I'm actually going to go with Bears on this, and I have no good reasoning for that. I'm just going with Bears. I think that I'm telling you, dude, I think what's going to happen in Chicago is that the kid's going to have one good starting game, and they're going to react just like the Lions fans always react, and he's the best thing since sliced bread, and then they're going to lose the rest of the season. There's Chicago in a nutshell.
Wow.
I'm going Chicago, baby.
Could be, yeah.
All right, let's hop over to Easy. What do you think?
I cannot wait to see Myles Garrett smash this young man Justin Fields into the fucking Let's go. Fuck the Bears. Give me the pound.
Hell yeah. Hey, Smoker Jerry B, I just got word that your vote does not count in this one. I unfortunately just heard that from my producer, so we're skipping you. Just kidding. Who you got?
That's right.
Browns versus Bears.
It is the Browns. They will win. I don't see how a quarterback that can't read a blitzing defense is going to do any good against that defense.
All right. Next up, we got Washington. Whatever team they're going, whatever their name's going to be, going against the Bills. Easy, what do you got? Who you got, my man?
Man, I have Antonio Gibson on my team, on my fantasy team. So I hope Washington, but I'm gonna have to go with the Bills, man.
All right, and then let's hop over to Mark. Who you got?
Yeah, man, that Washington defense, man, I think they might be a little bit overrated this year. I got Josh Allen in like 3 of my fantasy teams out of 5. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. I think it's his coming out party week 3, so I'm going to take the Bills.
All right, Logan. Who you got?
They're home in Buffalo. I think Bills Mafia is going to be pretty loud. I think it's going to be hard for Heineke to play there in the so I'm going to take the Bills as well.
All right, I see some interesting things from Heineke. I think he could be okay, but I'm going with the Bills on this one as well. Smoker Jeremy B, who you got?
I got the Bills.
All right, PC Payload, who you got?
Yep, status quo. Definitely the Bills. They're going to roll.
Just to pop in here, we had Dar Erickson saying Bears for that last game, and Quinn Cook says the Bills as well. I think did we get you smoking Jerry B?
Yeah, I said Bills.
Okay, no one cares. Anyway, let's go to Colts versus the Titans. I'm going to take the Titans in this one. I think after last week, that team's going to turn it around. And, yeah, I just don't think the Colts have a chance. Smoking Jerry B, my man, who do you got?
Titans.
All right. PC, who do you got?
Titans, for sure.
Mark, who you got?
Yeah, I got to roll with the Titans here. I think Derrick Henry's going to be way too much for them, and Julio Jones.
Yep.
Colts. I don't even know who's quarterbacking for the Colts right now. Is it Jacob Eason? Is he the one coming out playing?
Yes.
I'm taking the Titans, man. This might get ugly. It might get ugly there.
It's the Derrick Henry show, man.
Oh yeah.
Guy's a beast.
Mm-hmm. Easy, are you in agreement? Titans, or are you going with Colts?
Yep, the Titans.
Titans?
Titans.
Get them Titans. All right, let's go over to Statman.
I think Tennessee's going to keep rolling like they did with Seattle. They impressed me. Derrick Henry finally turned it around and started running like he was last year.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't see him stopping, so I'm going Titans.
All right. Quinn Cook comes in and says, I'm going with the Titans because I got Henry in my lineup. If you got Henry in your lineup, don't trade him away, though. Don't be like some foolish fantasy players and try to trade Derrick Henry away like some fools that I know. Statman trying to trade Derrick Henry. Come on now.
I was thinking about it after the first week. So I'm like, damn it, this is going to be the year. He doesn't do anything. It's going to be the time I have him.
We got the Saints taking on the Pats. PC, who you got?
I think this is going to be closer than what the over-under is, but I think the Saints defense is just too much for the Patriots. I think Saints take this one in about 3 points.
All right. I'm going with the Patriots in this one. Easy, who do you got?
Give me the Saints.
All right. Mark, who you got?
I think this is going to be a pretty good game too. I think it's going to be low scoring. I'm not a big believer in Jameis Winston. I think he's a fraud, so I'm going to take the Patriots.
Smoker Jerry B, who you got?
This is my upset special. I got the Patriots beating them because the Saints should win by talent, but Jameis Winston is so inconsistent, as we saw against Carolina. Pats win. All
right. PC.
I'll take the Saints again for 5.
Now here's what's gonna happen. I started jumping out of order, and it's got me all fucked up who we went already. So I'm just gonna start going in the Statman. Who you got?
I'm gonna take the Saints because I think Carolina is actually as good as they look right now. Sam Darnold is actually rolling down there under Matt Rule. And I think Saints just ran into a buzzsaw, kind of like how Packers ran into a buzzsaw with the Saints. So I'm going to see them bounce back this week. I'm taking New Orleans.
All right. I like it. Falcons taking on the Giants. We know who Dan Leonard is picking in this one. Easy. Who you got?
Give me the Giants. I like at times Daniel Jones actually doesn't look that bad. I think Matt Ryan's overrated.
Yeah. yes, agree. Smoking Jeremy B, who you got?
I'm taking the Giants. This is the toilet bowl of the week.
PC.
You know what? The Falcons are the most unpredictable team in the entire NFL. They're more on and off than the Lions are. So I'm going to say the Falcons somehow find a way to pull this out.
Ooh, maybe a little. I kind of like that thought now, but Mark, who you got?
You can't ever rely on them. They're just all over the place. So why not?
Yeah, for sure, man. This is two bad football teams. I'm a little biased here though, because I do like the New York Giants. I'm a Giants fan as well. This is going to be probably a really high scoring game. I think first to 70 wins, maybe. First to 70 might win this football game. So I'm going to take the Giants. A little bit biased here. I think they're just a little bit stronger.
All right. Satman.
And this is my upset pick, the Giants. No, I'm just kidding. I'm picking the Giants. So.
This is my upset pick.
Giants are actually favored by like 3 in this game.
Yeah,
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
It's an anomaly.
Oh yeah. One of those.
Falcons,
Oh my
sadly.
Dan Leonard say this is like a breaking news story. Dan Leonard says Falcons sadly, but the Giants better effing win. They are retiring their wide receiver's jersey.
You know, speaking of jerseys, dude, I got a
Nice
Ben Wallace jersey that would cover up that Bryant jersey perfectly. It's about the same size. It looked great behind your left shoulder. I can grab it out of my closet if you want.
No, it's crazy that you said that because I was just about to say, man, that's the sweet ass jersey you got hanging up in the back there. But
And respect for sure, but just had to.
Mhm.
I wish it was. It's not. I'm at work.
But
right
I'm
now.
serious, man. You need jerseys, man. I got plenty of jerseys.
yeah, work right now. Like a real work, like a job. You just
Yeah.
do a show during a job.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what I do when I work is do podcasts too. We got Bengals taking on the Steelers. Let's start at the bottom. We got PC. Who you got?
Oh man. Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger, he's got a stick holding him up still, and yeah, I can't bet against the Steelers, man. Bengals just. I love Joe Burrow and all, but Bengals, man, they got a long ways to go. So I'm going Steelers.
I love that stick thing. The stick holding them up. I love that. Smoker Jerry B, who you got?
Bengals.
Mr. Easy at work, who you got?
This would be my upset. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. If I think TJ Watt's out, that's the only reason why, and that's my upset. I had to pick upset, so you picked one. Never mind.
All right. Statman.
Bengals. I'm picking Joey B and that dangerous wide receiver group that they have.
All right. Mark, who you got?
Yeah, this is my upset pick too. I think Cincinnati's going to beat them. Pittsburgh's got all kinds of problems with injuries, so I think that Cincy offense might upset, and I'll take the Bengals.
All right. I went with the Bengals as well on this one, if I remember correctly. Oh, here we go. There we go. Here it is. We got the Ravens taking on the Lions. I always pick the Lions. I don't care. So my pick is the Lions. I actually think they're going to win this one 31-28. That's my score prediction. Mark, who you got?
You know, I honestly think that this game is going to be closer than a lot of people think it is. If we could somehow make Lamar Jackson throw the football, I think we have a shot. That's the only real shot we have. I'm not really scared of that defense over there in Baltimore. They have a pretty good run defense, but you can throw on them and you can score points on them. So as long as we kind of contain Lamar Jackson, there's no way we're going to be able to do it for 4 quarters. But if you can kind of make him throw, I think we have a shot. Saying all that, still going to take the Ravens. But I think it's going to be like 33-27 Baltimore. I think it's going to be a good game.
All right. Statman, who you got?
This is technically my upset pick, but yeah, I'm taking the Lions. I just think at home, I want to hear Ford Field get real loud, and I think it's going to help them out a little bit. But I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be like a last drive kind of win.
All right. I like it. Dan Leonard saying Ravens by 45 points.
Holy.
I
You gotta
hope
remember
not.
that
Please don't.
Mr. Leonard is a little sore from last week's betting action. We got to keep that in mind. So I think everybody's going to beat the Lions from here on out in Dan's eyes by 45 or more points. We got Dar Erickson saying that the Lions, if we can run the ball. So he's going with the Lions if they can get that run game going. Easy, who you got?
I don't want to hear that. It's tough to say, bro. I was going with the Ravens. God damn it. Oh, shit.
God damn it.
He's like,
He's,
"Whisper."
I'm just gonna go with
Like,
the
what-
Ravens.
He's like whispering it, man. You don't really believe yourself.
This is impressive.
Come on, man.
I know, man. I hear you, Bo.
I like that he's
Yeah.
little, like, I don't know.
that
Well, maybe.
was good
Yeah.
stuff. Man. That was good.
I was trying.
This happens every single time we get to the Lions game. This happens every single time. There's so many people that they want to say Lions because they're Lions fans, but they have to be realistic
Exactly.
sometimes and go the other way. So I know Smoke and Jerry B. I'm pretty sure I know which way you're going on this one. Who you got?
And until I see a consistent offense, I'm betting the opposite every time. Ravens.
All right, and PC. Who you got?
All right. So the key to this game is containment. You've got to force Lamar Jackson back into the pocket, force him to run down the middle, and put him in a situation where he's only going to gain a couple yards because he's going to want to chew us up for 8-10 yards on outside the pocket. If we can contain him, meaning that they're scoring less points and we're able to stay on our run game, I think we have a chance. And I'm feeling like it was, if you remember last year when we beat the Patriots, no one in the world thought that was going to happen. Nobody thought that was going to happen. I mean, everybody bet against us. I'm honestly going to eat my words on Monday morning for saying this, but I really think the Lions are going to pull this out in the last drive. And it's going to be the first game against Lamar Jackson, not against some backup quarterback, where we get a tiny bit of street cred and we finally start to make those steps in the right direction. I feel like we need to win against a very good team to get that. And so I'm going Lions by 3 points.
I love it. I absolutely love what you just said.
By 3 points.
I love that because I've been saying so much that the Lions are like this close to.
It's little mistakes, dude. It's just little.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
all it is. With the lack of talent that we have, it's mistakes that are this big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got another
are a dome
comment
team,
coming
right?
in. We got Dan Leonard saying, "Yeah, out 1,200 because they couldn't cover the damn spread."
Well,
What's
I
the
started
lesson to you?
Ouch.
last week I started to feel really sorry with that guy that had 15 picks against the spread on a $25 bet right at 20 to get 750,000 betting on the Lions to win covering. The casino called him Monday morning and offered him a payout. He took it of $133,000. Kudos to that guy for listening to his gut.
That guy's a genius.
Yes.
Dan Leonard has a follow-up that says, "Don't let your friends influence your betting habits." I know exactly who Dan is referring to. He happens to be on this panel tonight. Ain't that right, Statman?
What? No. He asked me, he goes, "Do you think the Lions can cover the spread?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think they should be able to. I mean, it's 11.5 points. They should be able to stay within that." And he goes,
One
"All right,
touchdown.
well," he goes, "All right, well, if I lose this money, it's on you." And I'm like, "Okay."
It's on you.
I don't see how that's my
You get
fault,
the-
okay?
Yeah, you get the blame. That's hilarious.
Now, I'm going to be surprised if anybody doesn't pick the Broncos on this one. Mark, who you got?
Yeah, man, the Broncos are doing well, man. They got Teddy Bridgewater over there throwing the ball well, man. They got a good sound team. I'm taking the Broncos. The Jets are in a lot of bit of trouble. We'll be fighting with the Jets for that number one spot, I have a feeling. So, yeah, Broncos.
All right, I'm going with the Broncos as well. Statman, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos. Jets are a mess. And I think it's the boneyard for quarterbacks.
Easy, who you got?
Sorry, I was muted. Give me the Broncos.
Broncos? All right. Something just came up on who you
Uh-oh, and he's gone.
We lost him. All right. I've got the Broncos as well, so I will concede over to Mr. PC Payload. Who do you got?
Yeah, I can't bet against the Broncos. Jets are an absolute nightmare, and they are quarterback graveyard. There's no question about it. So Broncos is a safe bet on this one.
Yep, exactly.
Teddy Two Gloves is just going to chuck it down the field.
Hey guys,
Oh,
I
he's
left for a
back.
second, but I'm back.
Hey, You know that guy up there? That's our host. That's Andrew Souls, the Soul Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I got this trying to do all this on my phone, and then this little notification popped up, so I went to see what it was, and then it completely took me out of the whole thing. So I'm not going to do that again. I took the notes, so we're good. Smoking Jerry B, I'm assuming you took the Broncos on this one?
Yep, and I already went to PC Payload, and he went Broncos as well.
Well, let's not ever do that again because I'm the host and you just wait for me to come back. Man, you're just getting too many strikes tonight, my friend.
Hey, Jeremy, why don't we take this time to thank our sponsor?
Yes, that's right. Our sponsor is A1 Tire and Auto. Custom wheels, new and used tires, as well as window tinting at 2 locations to serve you in Saginaw and Bay City.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thanks to sponsors too.
Beautiful. We got 2 more games, guys. I just got to get back to them, and I apologize because I went out, so I got to get back to where I was at. We got the Dolphins taking on the Raiders. I went with the Raiders in this one for obvious reasons. I just don't think the Dolphins can pull it out. Mark, who you got?
Yeah, man. I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders here, too. I think Dolphins are out of quarterback, too. Jacoby Brissett, I think, is starting this week. They're struggling a little bit, I think, too, and the Raiders are rolling. So I'm taking the Raiders in this game.
All right, Statman.
I'm going Raiders. Dolphins suck.
Well, I was going to go down to easy or pay low, but there he is.
I'm back. I'm going Dolphins. I say that they get Jamie Collins and he gets like 12 sacks. And Dolphins win by a sack by Jamie Collins.
Wouldn't that be crazy, though?
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah.
They actually
easy. Who you got?
All right.
So that they forfeit because they got Collins, so they're just going to forfeit. Yeah.
Collins just gets up. Yeah, we're done, guys. We're done. It's the Jamie Collins experiment.
So is that trade actually official?
No, not at all. But it could be.
Oh, okay.
Who you going with?
I'm going with the Raiders. Derek Carr is the leading passer in the NFL for yardage right now. He's looking great, possibly the best in his career, which it always takes at quarterback 3 years to learn John Gruden's system. So I say Raiders.
All right. Raise your hand if you did not choose. Perfect. All right. We got Bucks taking on the Rams. I went with the Bucks in this one. I think this is going to be a really good game, though, but I'm going with Tom Brady and Tampa. Mark, who you got?
I can't wait to watch this game. This is the 4:25 game, I believe, and I'm going to take the Rams here. I think it's going to be a really good game. It's go back and forth. The only thing, the Rams don't really have a running game going. I think Henderson might be a game time decision, but I'm a big Matthew Stafford guy, so I got a little bias here too. So I'm going to take the Rams in a great game.
All right. That one was a really tough one for me. Logan, who you got?
I originally picked the Bucks, but I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I just love Stafford. I don't know if you guys can see in the background. I got my Stafford jersey in the back.
Oh, yeah, man.
Always support that guy. So,
yeah, I still wear my Stafford jersey watching every single game. We got Dan Leonard. Rams going to put up a ton of points. Don't bet on it, Dan. Mm-hmm. And then we got Quinn Cook. Rams are going to win by 6 or 3. Donald with 4 sacks and a strip sack. Looks like Easy is gone, so we are going to go to Smoking Jerry B. Who you got?
I got the Rams. Their defense right now is top notch in the league, and I think that's the difference because the Bucks defense isn't really rolling yet. They're giving up way too many points.
Yeah. All right, and PC, who you got?
Yeah, is this at SoFi or is this down in Tampa?
SoFi.
It's at SoFi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? No hard feelings, never did against Stafford leaving. And he seems happy and he's rolling, man. Watching those games, it's like the Matt Stafford we wish we always had, and I just don't see how they lose. It might be close, but I got Rams all day on this one.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, Stafford looks like a totally different person,
He
attitude,
looks
and
like
play.
Stafford 2.0, like kind of like Dion 2.0, but Stafford 2.0, and he's got something. He's got that little fire in him that I wish we always saw. I mean, we saw it in glimpses, right? But we never actually got that consistency, and he's doing some special stuff out there. So yeah, no doubt in my mind.
Well, Dan Leonard says Easy's boss just walked in, so that's why he had to take off. He can't get in trouble. We got our last game of the week, and it is the Seahawks taking on the Vikings. Mark.
This should be a pretty good game, too. I think Russell Wilson's too much, though, so I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one.
All right. Statman.
I am going Vikings, even though I hate saying it. I don't like the Vikings just as much as the other two in the division. So, but I'm taking Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins is rolling right there.
All right. Smoking Jeremy B, who you got?
I'm taking the Seahawks. Minnesota Vikings are giving up points by the buttload.
Seahawks did it last week with the Titans, though.
Yep.
And with Dalvin Cook, I think Dalvin Cook's going to run all over him, too.
He's questionable.
Ooh, that's not good.
And certainly, last but certainly not least, we have PC. Who you got?
Yeah, I got Seattle. I think it's too much to ask of Kirk Cousins. He's hit and miss. So, I'm not going to bet against Pete Carroll and Wilson. We're on Seahawks for sure. Seahawks.
Can I change my pick to the Seahawks? I didn't know
No.
Dalvin Cook was.
Nope.
All right.
You can't change your
Right,
pick,
man.
boom.
And you owe me
Committed it.
$1,000. I'm sorry.
Easy's got something there. What does he say?
You got
It's
it.
on you.
He
1,600.
said,
You got some
he
piece
said
of shit
laugh
here
my
in
A off.
the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you got some guy in the chat, man, that's acting like a real douche.
Yeah, I've seen it right now. I was trying to I don't know how to get rid of him, so I have no idea how to get him rid of him.
Best way to get rid of those people is completely ignore them.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can't block him?
that's stupid. Well, thanks for coming in and just absolutely being a douchebag. Block user, thank you very much.
Yeah, block him up. There you go.
Yeah, that's
Was he trolling and cussing and stuff? Or what?
it was
Yeah,
worse than that.
yeah,
It's worse than
that.
It's
It
worse
was really
than that.
bad.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't need people like that.
It looks
somebody go
like
negative.
looks like Easy says that he is backstage, which he is. Yeah, that's where he is. He's backstage, everyone. He's
Bring
backstage.
him forward.
No, he's not really.
Bring
He's not really back there. You don't get the joke. He's trying to say that to tell Dan that he's backstage, that he didn't just leave, because he has other things to do. We got individuals can block, and I reported him on each of them. All right, sweet. Thank you, Dan, for doing
Thank
that.
you, Dan.
jumping in
Yeah,
for
thanks.
reporting everything. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you get douchebags in the world. So, hey, that's all the picks, guys. Hey, man, this went long, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Awesome.
We don't normally go this long, but we were trying to figure out good questions and things like that. So stuff to work on for next round for sure. I do want to thank Easy. I want to thank PC Payload. I want to thank you, Mark, as well, for coming on our show tonight. You guys don't even know how much it meant to us that you even said yes to begin with. So it's good to know that we have support like that from you guys as well. And anytime you guys want us on, just let us know for sure. But before we go, we have something that we have to do. We end our show with a special treat from yours truly, the Statman himself. So without further ado, go ahead, Statman.
Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield, and win the blue and silver wave. Stand and cheer the brave. Rah, 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 go hard, win the game. With honor you will keep your fame. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go!
One
Someday.
pride. One pride. Hey,
One pride. Great show.
For PC Payload, Mark, the Stat Man, Smoking Jerry B, I am the Soul Man, Andy Souls, and this is the We Are Lions Nation podcast. Everybody have a great night. Remember, try to catch us tomorrow for our Fan Zone show, our first ever show where we just bring in some fans and we talk to you guys, just some random football stuff. And then this Sunday morning, 10 a.m., our new time for our pregame show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to see you all there. Remember, like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. Everybody have a great night. One pride.
One pride.